friends, let's start turn 1 of the story of Sister Mary. My puppy over here has had a paw injury, and so he's a little drugged out, and you might hear him grumbling in the background. It is not a monster that we have to worry about. But we do have to worry about Ithaca. Now remember, the icy winds is happening in the city. We can't hang out in the streets, and no weather cards are going to be in play. So we're looking for our first Mythos card to set the board up, and it can't be a rumor. Oop. It's an environment. Love to see it. It's not going to apply because we have those lovely icy winds, but we do get our first gate. It's going to be down at the Unvisited Isle. The Unvisited Isle had a clue token on it. No longer. It gets sucked through the gate, which is Plateau of Lang. -1 to close. That's not too bad, but because a gate opened, sadly, we have to add our first counter to our doom track. We have 11 turns to either get ready to fight Ithaca or seal him away forever. All right. Reading from bottom to top, as you do with these Mythos cards, we've placed our gate. A monster will pop out of it, however. For that, we will reach into our bag of monsters and pull out a flying one, Amigo. Oh, isn't that unlucky? Oh no, because we have no environment. Whew, I was going to say, this only applies when we're the odds. He is a little flying monster, which means, well, we didn't want to be out anyway in the streets. Now we have even more reason not to be. But he will originally pop out into the Unvisited Isle for now, but he will head to the sky soon. And a clue appears at the science building. Oh, that just happens to be where Miss Kate is hanging out. So she, on her turn, will pick that up. She must have discovered something in her early research. Monster movement. Let's see. And we have square, triangle, and circle. Of course, just our luck, our little Migo does have a circle. So normally he would head to the nearest investigator in the streets. There aren't any. So he's going to shoot up into the sky, and he's going to wait to pounce on any unlikely souls. So we really need to stay indoor this game. All right, environment, we don't have to worry about. The quote overrides that. So we have resolved our Mythos card. Normally I would leave this out to remind me of the environment, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, let's see. So obviously clues are important right now, and Sister Mary has none of them. Oh, I know, puppy. And we need to get her to some. So let's see. She's down in South Church. She could pop over to the Historical Society. I know, bud. And then she's good there. Pete could probably get to the Unnameable. Okay. I think we got a pretty good base plan here. There's lots of clues on the board. We're going to try and grab them. Now, Ashcan Pete does have our Elder Sign. So getting him somewhere where he could lock a gate down really fast and seal it permanently this early in the game would be kind of broken. So we might try to do that, remembering, of course, that no one can stay in the streets. Okay, so let's head over to Sister Mary and give her her first turn, starting with the general refresh phase. For the upkeep phase, starting with Sister Mary, our starting player, let's roll to see if she keeps her blessing. She keeps it on anything other than a 1. So she's going to wake up, say her morning prayers, and she continues to be blessed. Okay, she's the only one who has an upkeep. So let's look at her stats. We want her to pick up a clue. Her speed of 3 will be great for that. Don't see her fighting lore and luck. So she uses her lore to cast her skills. She does have a +1. Okay, so I think we'll leave her where she is. Joe, interestingly enough, he has a ton of money And he has one of our highest movement people, base stats, as well as a motorcycle and a map. So I think we might use his super high speed to zip him around a little bit and distribute some of his goods around. So he has a focus of 3. So let's go ahead and just for this first round here, let's bump his speed up to 6 and see if he can't maybe pass the map off to someone else. I think he'll be able to get to Kate. Kate, remember, she had a clue spawn on her, so she's going to pick that up. She's at the science building. And what's neat about Kate is that gates and monsters cannot appear in her location. So she can wander around to sort of the more deadly locations and not worry about a gate appearing and sucking her through, which is great. Unfortunately, all she has is a bullwhip, and that's not the best possible item. So we might send Miss Kate here to the general store. Maybe she can start churning through looking for some better weapons, and she'll need a speed of 1, 2, 3. She'll need a speed of 4 to do that. She's going to pick up Joe's map though, so I guess we can leave her speed and sneak the same, so we know what she's going to do. And then Pete, ooh, okay, so this is, normally I make this strategy call a little later in the game, but Pete was gifted this elder sign right at the start, which means we could send him to the unvisited isle to see about sealing that gate up. Remember, there's a couple of different win conditions in this game. You can either try and fight the old one when all the gates have popped open and he comes through, or you can try and seal all those gates up before he arrives. And I think with this elder sign, I think we're going to go for the alternative victory path of pacifism. These are, of course, Sister Mary is a gentle creature, and if she can seal this old one away, she is much happier to do that. So I think we will send good old Pete up to the invisible isle, and he has enough movement to do that. Remember, in order to close the gate, we're either going to need to use fight or lore, and his fight is pretty good. His lore's pretty terrible, so I think we'll leave his stats here, and he's going to be our first gate explorer. All right, upkeep is done. Let's move to the movement phase. So good old Sister Mary has a movement of 3, so we can either send her to the Historical Society or to the woods. And down here on the bottom, we can see what we're most likely to find at these locations. So the Historical Society will give us either a skill or possibly a spell, and I feel like we have a lot of those. So that's pretty much all Sister Mary has. The woods will give us money or weapons, which are things that she does not have. So the woods is a little bit of a riskier place. It's one of those areas where gates pop all the time. The Historical Society is a little quieter, but let's start strong. Sister Mary's blessed. She has her holy water. So I think she's going to follow up a lead in the woods. She has a speed of 3, so let's move her through South Side and uptown into the woods, ending her turn here, which means she's going to learn something while she's there. So next up is our man Joe, and he is going to try to get over to the river docks to drop off one of his movement items with good old Ashcan Pete before he gets yoinked through the gate, because Pete is our slowest mover, so I think that makes the most sense. We left him with a movement of 6, so let's send him to Easttown, Rivertown, Merchant District, the River Docks. You could break your movement up, you can't except with combat. You could break your movement up to pick up clue, to interact with other people and trade with them. He has two things. He has his motorcycle, his map. Let's be honest, he's not giving up his cycle. There's no way he's giving that to Ashcan Pete. And how would Doggo ride on it? It makes no sense. So he will pass off his map of Arkham to Ashcan. He's going to keep his motorcycle, and we're going to continue moving. And he has gone 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we go for the clue or do we go for stuff? Let's just go for stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do not want to end in the street, so he's going to rev up his cycle to give him what he needs to get into the general store. Next up, we have Miss Kate down there, and she doesn't have to worry about gates or monsters spawning on her, so she's just going to head right in to the unnameable and pick up yet another clue. Her movement is 3, so we did that correctly. So let's go through the University District, the Merchant District for 2, and into the unnameable and pick up another clue for her. And finally, our brave Ashcan Pete with his sweet doggo. He and Duke are going to head through the Merchant District and into the unvisited aisle. Next, we would do the gate movement, but since we don't have any investigators in the gates quite yet, we can skip that and head straight into our encounter phase. And her encounter is, you trip over an object, which turns out to be a rusty lockbox. If you open it, make a luck check, no modifier, and consult the following chart. Ooh, we can find something. Let's go for it, right? Luck 0 plus 0, and her luck is currently set at 4, and she's blessed. So all she needs is a little bit of success, and we'll find something lovely. All right, Miss Mary. Ooh, oh, wow, wow, wow. First roll of the game. You love to see it. Let's take 4 successes. She found $10 in jewelry. Oh, Mary, okay. We'll give her $10, and suddenly we are flush. Well, that's why we went here, right? Let's see, the woods was either going to give us money or a weapon, so that paid off very well. So that's Mary's encounter. Next up is Joe. He's sitting at the general store, and we're going to draw 3 common items and purchase 1. So let's see. Come on, Joe. Find us something good. He found a Derringer. Well, I mean, it ain't awful. It's what he already has. He could be double fisting it, I suppose. A tome. He can draw a spell. Not really interested in that. And the old journal. Okay. Ooh, the old journal is interesting. You gained 3 clue tokens. We were really looking for weapons, but Derringer isn't the best one. But if we are trying to get a win by sealing gates, being able to pick up 3 clues for free, I think we'll do it. I think we'll spend $1. We'll pick up the old tome. He's not going to try to read it because his lore is only 1. He's not the most knowledgeable of PIs, but he does know someone, a certain researcher, who might be able to cash this in. So let's pay $1 for the old journal. We'll stick these down. We'll make sure our Derringer is on the bottom because remember, Ashcan Pete can rummage, so he might be able to pick that one up if we want. But we might just leave him there to do another round at the general store. We'll think about it. We'll see how the board develops. All right, he's down. Now let's check out Miss Kate. She's at the unnameable where we might pick up, some good things. So let's see. Let's shuffle them up and give her the unnameable. A monster and gate appears. Wait a minute. Yes, remember, her special ability is science. Gates and monsters cannot appear in Kate's location due to her flux stabilizer. Don't we all carry one of these in our pocket? We should. So if monsters and gates do not appear if she enters their location, however, and monsters can move into her monsters and gates do not disappear if she enters their location, and monsters can move into her location as usual. So this little event right here at the unnameable, guess what? Flux stabilizer, baby. Nothing happens. I mean, it wasn't harmful, but it was kind of a busted turn for us as we really didn't get anything. So on to Ashcan. So during the Arkham encounter and phase, his encounter is he and Duke are going to get pulled through to the plateau of Lang. And they will appear here in the first part. Arkham encounters are done. Now we're going to move over and do our otherworldly encounters. The only one here is good old Pete and Duke. They're in the plateau, so we're looking for a red or a green encounter. Blue, green. Here we go. City, no. Celino, no. I guess we're going to go with other. The rope seems to extend upward forever, but it's the only way out of the crevasse you find yourself in. Pass a fight -1 check, or fight our way out, to climb it and and return to Arkham. If you fail, you fail, losing 2 stamina and staying here next turn. I think we really need to pass this, because if we do pass this and return to Arkham, we won't have to go through the second part of this and we can seal it right away. Oh my goodness, really? Fight your way through, Pete, fight your way through. So he currently has a fight set at 4, and it's a fight -1. So we're gonna roll 3 of these, and it would be really great if we pass this. Whoops, we had 1 jump out. It was a 6. Do I keep it? Let's play fair. Let's play fair. Oh, no, I'm going to keep it. Just kidding. We're going to spend a clue and try and re-roll one of these here. He's got 3 clues, so this shouldn't be too bad. I know he's capable of a yes. Capable of rolling well. All right, we're going to spend a clue. That's fine. We re-rolled 1. That's great. He succeeded. So we lost a clue, which is a bummer, but we do get to climb the rope out of this crevasse, which is great news for us because we are immediately returned to Arkham, and it is as if we managed to explore the Plateau of Lang right away. So that was a quick trip for Mr. Pete. He comes back out. He gets himself an Explore token just to remind us that he has bested this personal little gate and he's going to have a chance to close it. So he isn't going to get to do this now. He's going to get to do this in his next Arkham phase, but he's primed and ready to use that Elder Sign to seal a gate on turn 2. Wow. Our investigators did great. Let's see what the old one was up to and draw a new Mythos card. And we're going to be reading it from the bottom up, right? So we're going to get a gate at the woods. What's it going to be? The Dreamlands. All right, so new gate means another Doom token. We are up to 2, and we're going to send that to the woods. Oh no, our own sweet Mary is going to be lost in the woods. Okay, so shoot. Gate appears. Mary, unaware that this is happening, is going to get sucked through. She's going to end up at the Dreamlands, but she will come in delayed because she didn't see it coming. So her first turn is just going to be getting her bearings, but she has gone through a gate. And as Mary goes through, out pops a ghoul. He's a little hard to sneak past. And he has the ambush ability, but he doesn't look too tough. So he's fightable, but we'll stick him here for now. Next up, we have monster movement. So these are all the symbols that are going to go. Our ghoul is a circle, so he doesn't count. And our Migo is also a circle. So we have no monster movement, which is wonderful. We have a clue appears at Independence Square. Ooh, that's lovely. We have 2 clues up here. And, oh, poor Mary. We might be able, you know, Motorcycle Man could definitely get there. I don't know if the researcher could, but if we could get up here and snag 2 clues, that would be amazing. And the last thing is we have our headline, all monsters in locations are returned to the cup. Whoo! We only have 2. Amigo's in the sky. That's not a location. He's kind of everywhere. But this little ghoul that just popped out of the gate, guess what? He, for some reason, decides he doesn't like it here. The woods are way too scary. Maybe he was unable to open the rusty box, and he gets immediately yoinked back through the gate. He goes back in the bag. We might be able to pull him later. And that's going to end our first turn of Arkham Horror, The Tale of Sister Mary. Pretty good first turn, not going to lie. We already are positioned to maybe permanently seal a gate. Good old Ashcan Pete and Duke use their rope climbing skills to get in and out of the unvisited aisle real fast. Next up we had Joe. Joe tooted pretty much across the entire board on his motorcycle, dropped off some stuff, tried to buy something, didn't go too great. Maybe next turn, Joe. And Kate, of course, managed to keep a gate from appearing and a monster from showing up. So good job with her. What was it? Flux capacitor? And poor old Sister Mary, she found some loot in the woods that ended up in the dreamland. So I don't know what happened to her in the woods exactly, but she is still blessed. So hopefully her experience on the other worlds will be just as lovely. All right, end of turn 1. I haven't played this in a while. If you see any mistakes, yell them out now. Otherwise, I'm going to launch right in to turn 2.